Hello everybody, just a real quick little cooking video here. I really don't know what I'm making. I had planned on cooking lunch for my wife tomorrow. We've kind of got a new thing we're trying out, like a little date night, but being how she works second shift, we can't do it at night. What I was preparing, or planned to prepare, needed to be made like right away. It wasn't good, heated up, or left sitting around trying to keep it warm. So found out she has a chiropractor appointment tomorrow, so we're not going to be able to do it on an actual schedule. So I've decided to go ahead. I've got a couple pounds here of fresh beef that was, I guess, packaged up by a local meat locker, and it was basically given to me by my aunt and uncle. They butcher their own cattle and that, so I'm going to go ahead and brown that up and basically figure out what I'm going to cook. At this moment, I still have absolutely no idea. So I'll get that in the pan and I'll get that started here in a second. One of the things you guys will notice with this, as I thawed it out in the fridge there tends to be a lot more on the little bit bloodier side, I guess you would put it, with the fresh meat compared to the store-bought meat. It's also a lot deeper, darker, almost a burgundy red color than that kind of mixy, kind of nasty white stuff. So anyway, don't know if you guys have ever used any fresh ground, I guess fresh butchered beef. This is really good stuff. This is actually their leftover stuff at the end of the year when my aunt wants more of the better cuts of meat. They have leftover hamburger, and her husband won't let her butcher another cow until all the stuff's gone. So I get the hand-me-down stuff, which has already been in the freezer for anywhere from 8 months to a year, and it's still better than anything I buy at any local butcher shop. So if you haven't ever had a chance of getting grass-fed beef, I highly recommend it. And I guess you can't go wrong with it. It's going to cost you a little more, of course, and best chance to find yourself somebody who has a local farm that wants to butcher a full cow and split half of it up with them. It's a great process. I'm going to go ahead and actually put a little bit of water in this pan. Not a necessity, but I don't like to add any extra oils or any greases or anything like that to it. So this is a non-stick pan. I'm going to have a picture of the bottom of it. It's a real cheap one that I picked up from, I believe it was Sears where I bought it from quite a while back. It was a big package deal of pans for like, I think it was on sale for like 40 bucks or 80 bucks. I don't remember. It's really dirt cheap. They're not good pans by any means, but they're doing what they're doing for so far. So pretty much you can see down in the middle of that, I'm not sure how well the light's going to show up there on the camera here, but that's just a really super deep red. It's so red, it's almost a burgundy, like I said before. So anyway, one of the things I do also all the time, everything gets some good garlic powder, some good salt and pepper, just general stuff. I'm big on seasoning the meat while it's cooking. Tends to really kind of mix it a little better that way. Big fan of that. Like I said, I'm not going to get too carried away with the seasoning of this because I don't know what I'm doing with it yet. So once I figure out what I'm going to do, then I can come back in and always add some more seasoning. You hate to add too much seasoning and try and cook something that I was looking for a mild meat flavor. So anyway, that's what we got for now. Hey everybody, just wanted to take note here. This is a non-stick pan, and as you can tell here, this is a wooden, actually it's a bamboo wood spatula type turner here that I'm using. You'd never want to use any like metal, anything like that in a non-stick pan because you're going to just scratch the crap out of it. Even a high-end non-stick, you're going to end up with some scratches if you're not careful. This right here is definitely a low end, and even using the wood in that, we have noticed a few scratches in the other little pan that I've got from it. Part of it might be coming from the dishwasher, as I do wash these in the dishwasher, and I think they're recommended not to be that way. So I also believe I've decided to try and make a crescent roll, Mexican flavored crescent roll beef, I guess mixed up together. I'm going to give it a try and actually leave the crescent rolls actually in a full sheet, throw in some meat, maybe some other seasonings and stuff, all that good stuff, and then basically roll it up and bake it in the oven like I would normally bake a crescent roll. So Don't have any extra onions. I don't have any extra stuff I'd like to throw in there normally. But I've got some oregano, I've got some cumin, I've got some basil leaves, and some chili powder. And then I also have some Ortega taco seasoning that I'm going to mix into the meat. The one thing I am going to do, I'm only going to use about a pound of it for that. So I'm going to go ahead and drain this meat off here in a second and split it up half and half, and then I'll use the other half for something I'm not sure what it's going to be. The smell of this fresh meat that's not the processed through your grocery stores and stuff is amazing. I highly recommend, if you can ever get your hands on some good grass-fed beef, to definitely go about that. Don't worry about if it's Angus or not. Nowadays the Angus has really been kind of chased around by a lot of people. Any cow that has black on it they think is Angus. There's not that much difference in meat. If you have yourself just a good, honest, grass-fed beef that's been processed by a good meat house, meat locker, whatever, you're gonna love it. So anyway, once I get the other ones ready to go a little bit, I'll go ahead and let you know what I come up with, final decision. So okay, what we got here is the cheap off-brand crescent rolls. So basically, I was hoping they would have stuck together in one big thing. They didn't, so I'm clearly going to have to do this out in two separate rolls. Not what I was after, but I'm going to go ahead and grab the beef and bring it back over here real quick. I also just realized I forgot to season this, so I'm going to go ahead and season it actually here in the pan itself. Grab myself a spoon here because I think that meat's a little hot still. With me seasoning the meat in here, I'm definitely not going to use the Ortega taco seasoning, because there's really no way I'm going to know how much I'm putting on there. So I'm also going to throw in some cheese inside here and see how that turns out. This is a triple cheddar. I don't know, something I've had for a while. It's a Kraft cheese. Not necessarily a big fan. You can use pretty much any cheese you like. I'm going to try and roll this just a bit here. I'm not sure how this is going to turn out. Like I said before, this is my first attempt at this, so I have really no idea what I'm doing. And I hope you guys don't mind me experimenting here in front of you. So if you see something I'm doing that would make complete sense to do it another way, I'm open to just about anything. I'm wondering if I actually just run the meat out here a little farther, if that would work or not. I'll try that one first, instead of doing both, that way in case I did mess that up completely. Some basil, some oregano like I mentioned earlier, a little bit of chili powder. Not a lot, just a little. See how that goes. Then of course the old favorite that everybody loves, everybody has to have. Gotta have quite a bit of garlic powder. Can never go wrong with garlic powder. Also, I'll throw in some fresh ground pepper here. I think I'm gonna season one a little bit heavier than the other one, and that way in case the seasoning doesn't go well here, I'll know not to do it next time. So throw in some more cheese on that one. We'll see how well this rolls before I finish up the last one there. Wow, actually went pretty good, so I guess I'll try that over here too and see what I come up with. I'm gonna, of course, at least garlic powder this one, because you can never not garlic something. I think that's probably where and pepper. I'm going to leave off the chili powder, I'm going to leave off the oregano and the basil, I believe it was. And then of course we got to cheese it up because you can never have too much cheese on anything. And I'm going to go ahead and give this a shot and maybe put a little cheese on top of this one. Don't know how that'll work or not, but we'll see. Try and roll this in the other direction. I'm actually using tinfoil here. It's a non-stick tinfoil. It seems to be easier to clean the pans up when it's all over and done with. So the one thing I did notice I have a little bit of an issue with, I put this on top of the burner where I'd heated the meat up and it was a little bit warm there still. So I'm thinking that's partly why as it set on top of that, I end up getting a little bit, wanting to stretch out of that one a little more. So throw a little cheese up here on top. I've been preheating the oven at 350, which is what the crescent roll calls for. The beef has obviously already all been cooked through, so there's no problem there. And might as well eat a little bit of that. And it says like, I think 12 to 14 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and pop this in the oven, set my timer, and in about 12 to 14 minutes, I'll let you know what I come up with. Getting ready to pull those crescent rolls out, so I guess you guys will get a first eye shot here what they look like. And I gotta say, they look really good from this angle, so don't know about the bottoms yet. I'll have to kind of flip them up and see. For non-stick tinfoil, it seems to want to stick here a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and actually let those cool off and see what I can get them off in a minute. So, went ahead and used the little Pampered Chef plastic pizza stone scraper to go ahead and scrape up underneath there. As you can see, turned out beautiful in the bottom, nice and brown. Gotta love that. Tops are golden brown also. The one is clearly bigger than the other one, so we'll go ahead and I'll save those, and basically I will serve those up tomorrow. I'll let you know the follow-up here. Probably there's a little subtitle in the bottom to let you know what I think of it, if it tastes any good.